In Michigan, the dominant narrative holds that long prison sentences provide the severe, long-term punishment that felons deserve and protects the rest of us from them.
People who have committed acts of violence or other serious crime are cast into a category of other and considered fundamentally different from law-abiding citizens.
In 2020, Fresh Coast Alliance and Safe and Just Michigan set out to challenge this narrative.
Our From the Numbers project hopes to lift the voices of those impacted by the criminal justice system and change the narrative about people who have been incarcerated.
Hello, my name is Melanise. I was sentenced to life in prison before I was sentenced to life in prison. At the age of 14, the most unimaginable thing happened to me. I was molested by someone close to me. This made me feel very disgusted, just gross. And I felt even worse once I spoke up and I was made out to be a liar. This caused me to create my own emotional prison, which led me to making not so good decisions. At the age of 19, I was sentenced to life in prison. Going to prison at such a young age didn't make matters any better. Upon entering prison, I was right off into it, all the negative stuff. In and out of segregation, fighting, selling drugs, just doing everything. After so many years of this, I just became tired. I had to realize I couldn't keep making the same mistakes and wanting better results. So I started enrolling in different classes, vocational classes. I obtained 2 certificates, one for food service hospitality management and business education technology, and became the tutor of both classes. I also took a class called Chance for Life, which helped me identify with who I was as a person. I could relate to or understand better why I made the decisions I made, why I did the things I did. October 17th of 2017, I was released from prison after serving 21 and a half years. I won't say that it has been the easiest because I still have struggles with family. I left 2 children behind when I was incarcerated. My son was 2 and a half, and I had a newborn. But each day, God gives me strength to just keep going and going. I have amazing people in my life that has helped me come to the point to where I'm at now. If I had any advice for anyone, young or old, just keep your faith in God and just be cautious of the people that you keep around you. That's all. Thank you.
So Mel, you served 21 and a half years on a parolable life sentence, and you've been home for how many years now?
3.5.
3.5 years.
Yes.
After serving that much time, I mean, that's 2 decades. That's a very significant amount of time. After serving 21 and a half years, what was that like coming home?
Everything was new. Everything was just different. I had to adjust to cell phones. I remember getting in the car, and my mom was like, answer my phone. I'm like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
So I had to adjust to that, and then adjusting to family. You know, everybody's grown. They have lives, children. So it was.
It's almost like coming back to from the time when you left till coming back, from the 90s to you're coming into the early to late 2000s, that it's almost like coming back to a world that no longer exists as you knew it back then, right? Because there was no such thing as, like, the technology wasn't as it is now. You got laptops and you got these phones that are actually computers now that you can actually talk to someone on the other side of the earth in a matter of seconds.
It's time and all that.
And so there's this adjustment. Wow. So since you've been home and the transition has been obviously a successful one. What are some of the first things you've gotten involved in terms of employment or any particular groups, church or whatever? What are some of the things that you got plugged in to create that network and that support system around you to make sure that success is inevitable?
Working. Work. I dive into work. I'm a workaholic. So that pretty much keeps me grounded.
Okay, that's great.
You know, Mel, when you were telling your story, you talked a little bit about having that courage to share what had happened, and then for your family and other people not to believe you. How did that feel then, and was there any of those same feelings when you came home?
It was painful then, and it was even more painful when I came home, because it's never been acknowledged. So it's still something, well, I won't say I deal with it every day, but since I've been able to open up about it more and I have a great support system, it's been a lot easier for me.
What do you think, if you could share something with a young lady that may be holding some of the same things in, had a similar experience, what would you share with that young lady?
I would tell her to seek help, like speak to someone that she feel like she can trust in, a therapist, pastor, whoever that may be. She needs to get it out and be able to heal from it, because the longer you hold it in, the worse it's going to be. It just destroys yourself. So
Well, thank you for your bravery and sharing your story today.
thank you for having me.